Hey, Carl. Sam Brock with NBC News. Thanks for taking these questions. What kind of insanity are you expecting tomorrow night? And also, there's a lot of talk about sports being in one bucket and politics in another. What do you make of the president's attendance for Game 3?
I mean, I expect our fans to come out and do what they do every game, which is come and support us at the highest level. So I'm really excited to play. You know, it's always great when you get to play the game of basketball at its highest level. So to be able to lace the shoes up, be able to put the jersey on, and be able to see our fans see finals basketball after all this time is going to be really, really special.
Fourth row on the left.
Hey, Kat, this is Agent Zero from Agency News. Obviously, there's been a lot of attention on your matchup with Wemby.
Yeah.
How's that been as a challenge, and how do you feel like you're doing so far?
I mean, it's great when you get to go against a great player, a player that I've spoken about countless times. That's going to be as a generational player, something we've never seen in the NBA before. So to be able to go and play in this moment against the best is all you can ask for. And I think for us to be in this position right now at 2-0 speaks to our team's resiliency, grit, and what we've been able to do collectively as a group to put ourselves in this position and to be coming home here with that kind of success.
Second row middle.
Hey, Carl. Liam McEwen from Sports Illustrated. Great to meet you.
Yeah.
It's been a great team effort offensively to win these first two finals games, but of course Jalen has come up huge in the clutch in both games. What's kind of his offensive superpower that just makes it so hard to guard in those situations?
I mean, he has great footwork. His footwork when he gets into the paint, and his ability to manipulate the offense and be deceptive in his dribbling attack and his pull-up game as well. It truly makes him tough to guard. And then when he finally gets into the paint, you know, he uses physicality to create space, to get his floater off, or to, you know, get to a scoop layup. So his ability, his footwork with his touch around the rim obviously makes him a tough matchup for anybody.
Hey, Carl. Peter Splendorio, New York Daily News. Just, you know, with the Spurs being down 0-2 now coming here, just what are you kind of expecting from them in terms of physicality, intensity? Like, what are you expecting them to bring?
I mean, they're best. You know, every single game you expect their best. That's how you don't, you know, get caught in a way lacking. You know, just you go out there and you expect their best, so and you want to bring your best. This is the NBA Finals. There's no time to take any game easy or to take any game lightly.
Carl, I've been following you ever since college time. Gideon Padilla, Filter 360, Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And have seen a change in your game, but being effective. Can you take us through what changed in your mind and how you were to pick a certain spot in the game and for the benefit of the team?
Yeah, I mean, just it's about impact and winning, you know, and especially this year, you know, throughout the year, I've always had to change my role for the betterment of the team. I've always had to change the way I play so it could be most beneficial for the team. And taking all that experience this year, I've had to do it on the fly. You know, it wasn't like game by game. It's been quarter by quarter, you know, and that comes with experience and just knowledge of the game and just time playing the game, time putting shots up, time reading defenses, seeing defenses, offenses. So, like I said, one game, you know, Jalen got hurt. You know, that's when I have to be a primary scorer. And then other games, you know, when he's cooking, I got to be, you know, a facilitator, a hub, a assist maker, aggressive in playmaking. And then there's games I need to do both when he's in and I'm in, and I got to be able to do both while his shots, you know, warming up. And, you know, there's also days where I got to be a decoy. I got to be the best screener. I got to be the best spacer for our offense. So I think that right now, whatever it takes to win, especially when you're in the NBA Finals, I'm willing to do.
First row on the right.
Hey, Carl. Scott Cancel with The Score. You guys are obviously on quite a heater right now in terms of, you know, wins in a row. I'm curious what that feels like from the inside, being that locked in. And do you remember if there was a moment where you guys kind of flipped a switch or something happened that kind of has ignited this run?
I mean, just us being together, you know, being down 2-1. I think that understanding where we were and what the situation was, and I think in a way just having that kind of understanding the desperation that comes with being in the playoffs and trying to win at the highest level. I think also too, you know, when we always talk about the unity and camaraderie of this team, we don't ever want to put ourselves in that position again. So just every single day coming to the court, coming to the game with that kind of desperation, that kind of will to not be in a 2-1 situation again and not put ourselves in a bad spot. Maybe I think that's what's led us to this point of, like you said, being a heater, but just not looking forward, in the future at all, and not looking at the past, but just staying in the present. We talk about that 0-0 mentality. That's a real thing in our locker room, and that's how we approach every game.
First row on the left.
I'm Jeremiah Fierce.
Of course.
I got a quick question.
Yeah.
My question to you would be, how do you feel about being probably the best three-point shooting big in the NBA?
I mean, it's an honor. I worked on my game, and, when I was younger, that wasn't something that was supposed to happen. You're laughed at, you're told, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. You're never going to make it to college doing that. Yeah. And just like you understand, a lot of people are going to tell you what they think you need to do to make it to the NBA, to do all these things. But at the end of the day, you gotta walk on your own path, write your own story. And that's what I did. I continue to work on my game, continue to work on my shot. And now, as you understand, like, people come back to me and give me all the congrats and congratulations and all this love for something they didn't help with. They told me to do the opposite. So that's how life always goes, Everyone got an opinion until someone actually does the work. And us two, we did the work. And they're gonna have to watch our story be written without them having a chapter in it.
Last question, DA.
Hey, Carl, David Aldridge with The Athletic. As someone who grew up in the area, I just wonder if you have any thoughts about the first president to ever come to a finals game being at the finals game tomorrow.
I mean, we got to be desperate for this fans. The fans have earned the right and deserve the right to see finals basketball be played here at Madison Square Garden. And for this to be the first game in a long time that they've seen finals basketball, it's up to us to bring it. Give them something to cheer for, give them something to get loud for, and also give them something to believe in. I talked about the word hope. Hope has been brought back to the city. We've revitalized that word, but the word success hasn't been seen in the city for a long time. So we have to continue to fight to bring that word back to fruition.
Hey, Josh, Sam Brock with NBC News. You've obviously played in a lot of home playoff games at MSG, but nothing like what we're about to see Monday night. What are you anticipating?
I mean, the Garden going to be rocking. Obviously, in this city we love our Knicks, so they're going to come out, show love, support, and the energy is going to be electric.
Also, Josh, when you walk around the city and you see everybody wearing Knicks gear, subway stations are painted orange and blue, the atmosphere is electric. What does that feel like as a player?
To be honest, I'm not doing too much walking around the city right now. It's to see. It's cool. But for me, I try to be as far removed from that as possible. Just mentally, just because if you walk around the city or you go to different places and people are singing your praises and doing all that, is very easy to to get complacent and to listen to those things and start feeling good, and then you start relaxing. So for me personally, I try to stay as far away from that as possible. Even if I go to dinner, I'm gonna try to go into like a private room or something, so I don't have to be around that, because you want to make sure you're as focused and locked in on the goal at hand.
Fourth row on the left, Brian.
Brian Mahoney, Associated Press. Hey, Josh, I remember a while back you had signed on as like an ambassador for the local World Cup committee. Did you ever have to tell them, like, sorry, I didn't finish with my day job in time? And, the games are starting this coming week. Could you imagine that we'd get to this point and there might be something in New York that's sort of keeping attention away from that right now?
Obviously, I'm a big, I love football, man. So, obviously, a little bummed I can't go to, some of those matches, but, I have something a little more interesting right now going on in my life. So, it also adds to the energy of the city. So I think it's something that's that's really cool. Like I said, bummed I can't go to some of that stuff, but the World Cup's always a special time, and obviously now that it's in the States, it's super cool. So hopefully at some point I can get to some matches.
Third row on the left.
Josh, over here. Those of us that have been around you guys every day, we know the process that it's taken to have the kind of level of connectivity you guys have shown these playoffs. Just from your vantage point, how would you describe kind of like that journey as a team? Obviously, I think you guys always try to make it very clear that you guys are in the process of trying to get there. It wasn't always as good as maybe you guys made it seem, but how can you describe it for me, just the journey that's been?
Yeah, obviously that started in Abu Dhabi, or right before Abu Dhabi, where we talk about what our goals are, what our staples are, and what the habits we're trying to build are. And in an 82-game season, there's a lot of peaks and a lot of valleys. And I think that most important thing is just to stay even, no matter what it is, because especially in the city, it's tough. Like I said, you hear praises, you get complacent, and then you go down, and then you start hearing the talk and the chatter if you lose one, 2, 3 games. So it's been a lengthy process. But I think right now we're in a very good mindset of doing our habits, playing our brand of basketball, and not really worrying about the outside noise or the accolades or individual performances.
Third row, Barbara.
Yeah. Hey, Josh. Obviously, having been around for a couple of years, you guys are used to the craziness of the Garden and Knicks fans. Do you think that kind of helps you? People are going to say, some people are saying this may be the craziest NBA game played ever. The price of the tickets, the celebrities, the president, everybody was going to be here. Do you think you're able to uniquely block that out just because you've had a lot of craziness before?
I think so, because for me personally, especially in college, Coach Wright always talked about we play for, the guys in the locker room, and we don't really play to the crowd. And so for me, I feel like I'm able to kind of tune that out, pretty well, just because, that guy, instilled in me, those 4 years of, in college. But, the environment, the atmosphere is going to be electric, obviously, and we're happy that we're at home and, we have them at our back. I kind of wish the ticket prices weren't as crazy as they are. I feel like a lot of people who are been waiting for this moment for a very long time, unfortunately aren't able to get into the building with the cheapest ticket, $7,000-8,000. So it's just, that's ridiculous. It should still be rocking, but obviously we wish those were a little cheaper.
First row in the middle, Christian.
Jones, Christian Winfield, New York Daily News. So Wemby doesn't throw the ball off his teammates back down the stretch there, but the end of the game might be different. When you look at the film, just what are some things that you guys think that you need to clean up for Game 3?
Execution for sure in the fourth quarter. I feel like we played a little bit slower. Transition defense wasn't as crisp as it was, the first 3 quarters. So I think if we focus on that, rebounding, we'll be good. In terms of that play, you never know, because we could go down and get a stop, and so you never know what what play can change a game. But for us, we know that we have to be better. I think we were up like 14 at one point in that fourth quarter, and I think we were the best fourth quarter team in the league. So we got to make sure we're locked in and executing in that regard.
Last question, first row on the right, Dan.
Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. Just different franchises sometimes are defined by like a style of play. This team's got this kind of identity. Showtime Lakers, fast-breaking team, stuff like that. As you've grown up in the game and then been here, is there an identity that makes for a great Knicks team? When you think of the Knicks over the time, what kind of makes for a great Knicks team?
Toughness, grit, physicality, energy, clutch plays. I think that's what you think of when you think of, Knicks basketball. That's something that we want to do. We want to come out with energy. We want to come out with physicality, and be focused on the game plan and go out there, and especially with the guys that we have in the locker room. We're going to make plays. We're going to make big plays. We're going to do those kind of things. And, that's kind of our brand, playing fast, and having fun.
This is a great day for me today. For the first time, I got a chance to meet Ben Stiller. I don't know if he's in here or not, but I actually gave him a handshake and a hug. I got my man Fat Joe sitting in the back. This is a great day for Mike Brown. Yeah, I'll take it. Appreciate you being here. All right, go ahead.
All right. I think you were talking about this at the outset of the last series, and you've mentioned it at times throughout the year. But can you revisit, you were saying that when you took this job, you felt like this team had enough to win. So what were your feelings like about this roster when you took over? And then did you feel like you had to get to the finals this year as coach?
So I'm going to answer that part first. Every year I've coached, I felt like I've wanted to and needed to be a part of a finals team. I never experiencing as a head coach, quote unquote, trying to tank, trying not to make the playoffs, trying those things. It's about trying to get the win and improve during the regular season. So come postseason, you're in position to try to go for it. When I took as you're looking at this team, trying to put together what you want to say to, Leon, Mr. Dolan, Quentin Dolan, Wes, and the rest of their staff, you just tell the truth. And I thought the diversity in terms of the skill set on both ends of the floor, as well as the size, the length, the athleticism, and all that. And then, every team that I've been a part of that has gone to the finals, and especially that has won it, has an X factor or a wild card, and that's somebody that plays off of their emotions, but it's usually at one speed. And most of the times you love it, and sometimes you may pull your hair out of your head if you haven't. And that person was Josh. Back in San Antonio, it was Steven Jackson. In Golden State, it was Draymond Green. Here, it's Josh. All those guys, they can change a game to the nth degree, just with their passion, their emotion, however you want to call it. And sometimes they may make you want to pull your hair out your head, like I said. But so I thought that the team was diverse and had a lot of different pieces that can help you. Skill-wise, they had the X factor in Josh, and then being a veteran group, there was a hunger about this team with the way they lost the last couple of years that I thought could help bode them well getting over the hump. And then, from there, you got, I've said this before, you got to be aligned, not just horizontally, but vertically, from Mr. Dolan to Leon to myself on down. And then you got to be aligned horizontally too. And I've known Leon for many years, and I felt that alignment could happen, and it could be great even when times got rocky.
Ian here in the second row on the right.
Ian O'Connor with The Athletic. Mike, do you recall the first day you stepped foot inside Madison Square Garden and what your impressions were of the building and the atmosphere then as opposed to now?
Yeah, I was like, holy crap, I can't believe this is where I'm going to be coaching. And then the biggest thing was when I got to to the bench where we sit, and I kind of turned to look at the crowd, and I saw my wife and family like 3 rows back. I was like, dang, thanks, Mr. Dolan. That's pretty nice. So it just that, obviously the building, but more importantly, when you get in and you look, for me, I see my family right there, and then obviously all the stars. It just makes it feel different than almost any other building you've been in.
On your left, Chris.
Hey, Mike, Chris Mannix with Sports Illustrated. I'm wondering, what would you say is Jalen's kind of superpower as an offensive player, his superior skill set? And I'm wondering also if you can remember when you first took note of him, like this kid, this second round pick is actually pretty good.
Yeah, when I first took notice of him, when I was a defense coordinator in Golden State, and we had to play against Dallas. And I remember the first couple times we played against him, we put a guard on him. And I was amazed because when you look at him, you're like, okay, he's not the biggest guy. He's not the most athletic guy. He's not the quickest guy. Okay, you can put a guy 6'4", 6'5" on him, you'll be okay. No. You know, we put guys 6'6", 6'7" on him, and he got to a spot methodically. He put his back shoulder in them, and he still scored. So when we played him in the playoffs, and Luka's great. He's an all-time great. He's going to probably go down and for sure as a top 10 player to ever play the game, maybe top 5, I don't know. But as a defensive coordinator, this is just me. And going into that series, my concern wasn't Luka, my concern was Jalen. And we put Draymond Green on Jalen. That's how concerned we were because we need a bigger, stronger, tougher guy to try to do it or to try to slow him down at that time. And, his game has expanded. Like Jalen didn't shoot as many threes. He didn't play as much pick and roll because the ball was in Luka's hands. Now it's different. If you put a bigger guy on him like that, a power forward on him, he's in the ball screen. He's out in transition. He can score from all 3 levels. And he does it with a patience that, you embrace as a coach because it's not hurried and frantic all the time. It always seems like he's in control, which helps you as a coach be in control, which helps his teammates be in control. So he's been a problem in this league for a long time.
Fifth row in center, Vince.
Mike, Vince Gilbo, ESPN. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you come to New York, it seems like there's a lot of pressure, big personalities, big egos. It seems like you have divorced your ego. You always deflect praise and pass it on to your coaching staff, the players. I'm curious, was that a calculated decision that you made upon taking this job to kind of not make it about you, or is that evolving?
No, I'm just telling the truth, man. Like, my staff is great. They're extremely diverse. They've all stepped up at different times. Same with the players. I don't know if this is me personally. I think anybody that says, I got us here, or I is flat out lying. You had to have help from somewhere. And I truly believe it. And when you do, you want to make sure you recognize everybody else because it definitely ain't about just me. I'm just telling the truth about the staff and the players as we go along. So not calculated, not made up. Again, I'm just telling the truth. And if they weren't, I'd let you know somehow, some way.
Thank you, Coach. Jalen Brunson will be next.
Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Yo, what's up? Hold on. Hold on, let's sit back and let's gotta be official. Okay, fine. Let me sit down. Oh, really? About the shoes, okay? I hated those shoes. Okay, yeah, can I say the name? What's the name of the shoes? Okay, you keep calling them PK Flyers. They're PF Flyers. The PF Flyers. This guy every game about his shoes. Yes, he did. Shoes have come so far, there's actually cushioned PF Flyers is a PF Flyer. Now I'm thinking it's good luck, so I need you to keep them on, Coach. I'm going to keep them on. And you know what? Bob Cousy, he was the first athlete to be endorsed by a shoe, and it was the you got me thinking PK Flyers now, but it's the PF Flyers. They signed him back in the day. So the PF Flyers were the first shoe company that went out and signed an athlete, and it was Bob Cousy. Yep. Yep. You, yes, you do.